Hello, sir and lady. Good morning. You may call me Miss Wenjun. Together with me are two of my colleagues. How can we help you both?
Good morning, Miss Chi. I'm Mimi. This is my husband, Jing Hao. Currently, we have some problems regarding our marriage and property. We are here to seek your help.
Mimi, this is all because of you. That's why we are
This
here.
is not only my problem, this is our problem.
Come now, Miss Mimi. Can you start off by telling us what has happened?
Sure.
Mimi, do you take Jing Hao as your husband?
Yes, I do.
Jing Hao, do you take Mimi as your wife?
Yes, I do.
I now pronounce you as husband and wife.
Jing Hao, now we both are having our own car. Do you think we should get a house together since we are married?
Mimi, actually, I have a surprise for you. I've made an offer to buy an apartment that is near my parents' house. I've already paid the down payment. However, we will both own the title of the house.
Oh my God, Jing Hao, thanks for the surprise. I'm willing to bear the cost with you and start our family there. Lawyers, I own a title to the house and I did bear the cost to buy the house together with Jing Hao. There's no way he can take the house away from me.
Miss Mimi, please calm down. Let me explain it to you. So you are now a married woman according to Section 2 of the Married Women Act 1957. Married woman includes any woman married in accordance with the rites and ceremony required by her religion, manners, or customs. So, according to Section 4, you have the capacity to own the property. Subject to this Act, a married woman shall be capable of acquiring, holding, and disposing of any property. So, in short, you have the capacity to own this house, and you own this house together with your husband, Jing Hao.
Alright, Mimi, there is something I would like to remind you as well. According to Section 4 of the Act, a married woman is also capable of rendering herself liable in respect of any tort, contract, debt, or obligation. You are also capable of suing or being sued in your own name, either in tort or in the contract.
Lawyers, I want to ask, can I be forced to sell my car in order to pay Jing Hao's car loan? Does he possess the right to interfere with my interest in my property?
Darling, I have a really bad news to tell you. I've already resigned from my company, and because I really could not bear with their management style anymore.
Oh no, you should have discussed this with me before. Now we might not have enough savings to pay for your car loan.
Don't worry, me. I have a really good idea, which, since you have a stable job, right? So I think that you can actually help me to pay my car loan until I have a new job. So we are now a family, right? So your property and money should belong to me as well, so we can share it and you may use your property.
I agree that both of us should be deemed as a unit. However, I don't think we are able to bear enormous expenses with my low salary.
Maybe we can sell your car in order for us to have more money to pay car loan?
No, Jing Hao, I can't agree on this. Instead of selling my car, I think we should think of another better way to solve this problem.
How could we have a better way, another from selling your car?
Mimi, from the legal perspective, actually you do not have the responsibility to pay the car loan incurred by Jing Hao. And if today you were situated in a circumstance where you have a huge amount of debt that need to be settled, Jing Hao will not be liable for your debts as well. Section 10, subsection 1 of Married Women Act reads that all women shall continue to be liable for all her debts, contract, as well as any wrongs committed by her before the marriage. Moreover, Section 10, subsection 2 also states that a married woman may also be sued for any debts incurred under the contract and is liable for any damage under the wrongs committed. Hence, these two sections further state that even though both of you are deemed as single unit in the society, but Mimi, if there is any debt incurred by you before the marriage, you are liable to pay them on your own.
Besides, pursuant to Section 5, subsection 1 of the Act, all property of a married woman or held for her separate use in equity shall belong to her in all respects as if she were a fiancée, and may be disposed accordingly. So, by applying this law, Miss Mimi, you could own a car and have the freedom to dispose of it in your own name. And Mr. Jing Hao, you should respect your wife's legal existence and need to consult her to make decisions when it comes to property matters. In addition, if there exists any dispute between both of you regarding the possession of the property, as what was brought up by Ms. Mimi just now, we shall refer to Section 11, subsection 1 of the Act. So, by applying this section, either one of you may apply to the Judge of the High Court through summons in order to decide your property in summary. But it is notable that the determination of the value of your property falls within the civil jurisdiction of a session court, and the judge will make order by considering two things, that is, the cost and also the consequence of the application of the summons. Besides, Section 11, Subsection 2 and Subsection 3 of the Married Women Act reads that the parties can also appeal with regard to the order given by the judge, and if either one of you require, the judge of the session court will hear the application of summons in his chambers.
Lawyers, I want to tell you a fact now. The day after we argued, I found out that my jewelry and my valuable bracelet had disappeared. After confronting Jing Hao, he admitted that he had stolen my property without my permission. I demanded it back from him, but he said that he had already sold them off. I'm pissed off and I want to get them back, or else I will sue him for stealing them.
According to Section 9, Subsection 1 of the Married Women Act 1957, every married woman shall have in her own name against her husband the same remedies and redress for the protection and security of the property, as if such property belonged to her as a female. Ms. Mimi, this section provides you the right to get remedy and get redress for the protection and security of your property, namely the jewelry and valuable bracelet in your own name. Next, according to Section 9, Subsection 2 of the Married Women Act 1957, a husband or a wife shall be entitled to sue each other in tort for the protection or security of his or her property, as the case may be. By applying this section, you have the right to sue your husband in tort for the protection or security of your property. Hence, Ms. Mimi, you are entitled to sue him to recover all the jewelry and bracelet that your husband took.
And I want to add that he always visits the nightclub after quarreling with me. One day, he brought back a woman from the nightclub and chased me out of the house. How could he do this?
So that is my house. I have the discretion to decide who to live in that house. I really couldn't bear with you to live with you anymore. I will only live the rest of my life with my girlfriend, and that is not you.
But Jing Hao, we bought the house together. I'm also the owner of the house. How dare you stop me from staying in my house? And also, he scolded me with all the rude words and pushed me to the floor outside of the house. All our neighbors know about that. How am I gonna face our neighbors?
Hello, that's your problem. I wouldn't have pushed you if you left the house when I asked you to leave.
This is your fault, and I also want to remind you that I'm your wife and the woman is not your girlfriend. How could you be so cruel to me? It has been such a long time where I couldn't sleep well for this. I'm tired of this situation, Jing Hao.
This is your problem, Mimi.
Miss Mimi, don't worry. You are entitled to sue your husband Jing Hao in tort for damages in respect of injuries to you according to Section 4A of the Married Women Act. So, Jing Hao had pushed you out of the house, and this had been witnessed by your neighbors, right? You are also facing the problem of insomnia caused by the action of your husband Jing Hao. These actions caused by Jing Hao causes the loss of reputation and also mental distress in you. In this case, you may file a tort claim against your husband, just like any other individual, although both of you are a couple and he is your husband.
Apart from that, Jing Hao has no discretion to chase you out of your own house. According to Section 5, Subsection 2, restriction cannot be attached by a man to restrict the enjoyment of the property by a woman. Even though Jing Hao also has the right to enjoy the property, which is the house, this right to enjoyment of property does not grant him the right to stop you from your enjoyment of the property. He cannot stop you from staying in your house, as you also have the right to enjoy the property.
Mimi and Jing Hao, in case you still think that the other party has infringed your right towards the house, you are entitled to sue each other in tort for the protection or security of your property under Section 9, Subsection 2.
Now I'm thinking of commencing a criminal proceeding against him for taking away my property. Lawyers, could you please brief me regarding this?
You're crazy, Mimi. It's just a small matter and you are claiming a criminal proceeding.
Please don't disturb me. You can't change my decision.
Calm down. I understand your situation, Ms. Mimi, but again, according to Section 9, Subsection 4, it provides that no criminal proceeding shall be taken against a husband or wife while they are living together or apart as to or concerning any property claimed by her or him respectively.
But is there any exception for this?
Under the same provision, unless such property has been wrongly taken by the husband or wife when living or deserting or about to leave or desert the wife or husband respectively, you may commence a criminal proceeding against him.
Thank you for the explanation. But I have a follow-up question, which is there any payment that can be ordered when the proceeding against Jing Hao is pending?
Mimi, for this question, Married Women Act is covered as well. As on Section 9, Subsection 5 of the Act, in any action or proceeding by a married woman or by a next friend on her behalf, the court before which such action or proceeding is pending shall have jurisdiction by judgment or order to order payment of the cost of the opposite party out of property which is subject to a restraint on anticipation, and may enforce such payment by the appointment of a receiver and the sale of the property on otherwise as is just.
So basically, Miss Mimi, if Jing Hao took away your valuable property and he deserted you, meaning that he abandoned you, you may bring this as a criminal case under the exception stipulated under Section 9, Subsection 4 of the Married Women Act. Next, if your case has been brought to the court possesses jurisdiction to order payment of the cost from the property you own, and such payment may be obtained through the selling of a house ordered by the judge.
All right, thank you, lawyers. I understood this. I will consider your advice.